Hi EPG, this is Brian Kerr, Superintendent. I want to talk to you today a little bit about Spring 2020 referendum. We are looking at putting a referendum on the ballot on March 17th of 2020 to really ask the question, yes, we want to build a new middle school in Gridley, or a no vote would be we want to fix the current middle school in Gridley. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about what we're thinking. First off, you may be asking, why do we need a referendum? And we have had an outside contractor that would not profit anything by doing a new facility. They came in and looked at our facility and said, if we're just looking at HVAC, at tuck pointing, and some basic structural things, there's over $4 million worth of work that is going to have to be done in the next few years at the junior high. In addition to that, we know that we have quite a bit of work that needs to be done to fix some major plumbing issues as well as some electrical issues. And so as we think about all of those things, there's somewhere between the neighborhood of $6 to even $10 million worth of repair work that's going to be needed to be done at the junior high over the next few years. So why are we focusing on the junior high? And if we think back to the 16 years of EPG, when we consolidated, we knew at first we were going to have to do some work at the high school. And so we had a referendum that said don't build new. And so we've done substantial remodeling and put in about $7 to $8 million on the high school campus. We knew that after high school needs were fulfilled, we would look to the junior high, and then eventually we'll look to the elementaries. And in terms of the health of our district, that cycle will just continue. And so as those bonds are being paid off, and in a few years we'll have them open, it also aligns with the time when we have to have a 10-year health life safety survey. And so we know there's going to be work we have to do at the junior high, somewhere in the ballpark to 6 to 10 million, taking care of HVAC systems, tuck pointing, security issues, plumbing, and electrical concerns. As we talked about this issue, one of the things that the board thought through and talked through is that really 3 times in our district's history, we've gone to the community and said, we want you to join us, have some discussions, have some input. What is the right structure? That's true at consolidation. It was once under Mr. Johnston's leadership and once under Mr. Lindy's leadership. In all those situations, the answer was the high school should be in El Paso and the junior high should be in Gridley. And so as we walk through this process, we're not going to go through the same process and get the same answer because it's been clear each time we've involved the community in those discussions. And so we're moving forward knowing that we will either fix the junior high in Gridley, fix the current facility and put the money into it, or we're going to build a new junior high on that campus in Gridley. So the question as it'll come to the ballot is really a yes or no for us to do one of 2 things. So what will we be voting on? Well, a yes vote would mean we will build a new 5th through 8th grade junior high in Gridley on that same campus. A yes vote would mean that the tax rate remains the same. We have some bonds that will be rolling off, and so we would take about 18 to 20 years worth of borrowing and sell those bonds, and that would fund a new middle school without an increase in the tax rate. A no vote would mean that we repair the current 5th through 8th grade junior high in Gridley. Now, we know that the health life safety survey is coming, and so we will have to issue health life safety bonds to make those repairs. And so a no vote would mean that the tax rate will stay the same, and it would be probably between 8 and 10 years to repay that amount of debt. And so a yes vote is a new junior high in Gridley, same tax rate. A no vote is fixing our current junior high in Gridley with the same tax rate. So what's the next step in the process? The Board of Education invites you, and we really want as many community members as possible to join us for a couple special board meetings or community sessions that we're going to have in the district. So October 29th at 6:30 p.m. in the Centennial School Gym, we are going to welcome you all to come, and we'll share information about what's led us to this conversation. We'll have our architects come in and share what they've learned as they've studied that facility. And then we'll ask some questions from you about what stands out to you in the process, what thoughts, what feedback you have. And then the second meeting, we're really going to answer some of those questions that you have, that come from the first one. We'll do a summary of the first meeting and then really have some discussion looking at trying to make some decisions. And we want your input. We're not going to ask whether the junior high should be in El Paso or Gridley or somewhere in the middle. That decision's been made. But we are going to ask things like where on the property should it be, and maybe questions about traffic flow, and getting your feedback in the process as we look to create a plan to put forward to the community. So we want you to know that there's probably going to be a referendum this spring, and we invite you in October and November to be a part of those conversations as we move toward that decision. If you have questions that you'd like addressed in the future videos, like this one, then I encourage you to submit those. And so I put a link on that you can type that web address in. I'm also going to put this web address on social media, and I will put it out in the community update. If you have feedback, if you have questions or information for me or for the Board of Education as we go through this process, this form just is a couple open-ended spots where you can share some information that we can look at as we move forward. So I will be doing more videos to keep people up to date in the process. I'll probably take some videos on site, but specifically I wanted to answer the questions that come in from you. So thanks for taking a few minutes to watch, and I hope that you'll join us as we figure out what to do in the best interest of our students, our staff, and all of EPG.